From WFRV TV Local 5, your local election headquarters, this is Newsmaker Sunday with your host, Tom Zaleski.
Good morning. Welcome to Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zaleski. The alleged attack on actor Jussie Smollett has dominated news headlines during the month of February. Smollett initially claimed two white men with a rope shouted homophobic and racist slurs and attacked him during the overnight hours of January 29th in Chicago. Well, since then, he has been charged with filing a false police report. Here now, CBS News correspondent Dean Reynolds with more on this unusual case.
He has gone from victim to suspect to defendant in just over 3 weeks.
Jussie, anything to say?
Jussie Smollett was charged with disorderly conduct for filing a false police report. A very false report, if you believe Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson.
It's just despicable. You know, it makes you wonder what's going through someone's mind to do something like that. So
what Smollett did, said Johnson, was fake an attack on himself last month, paying two brothers to make it look like a racist, homophobic assault by Trump supporters who draped a noose around his neck.
I respect too much the people who I am now one of those people who have been attacked in any way. You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
The police say it was all an act.
Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process.
The $3,500 went to these two men seen on a surveillance camera in the spot and at the time of the alleged attack, January 29th. They were friends of Smollett's, but became his worst enemies when the cops brought them in for questioning, and they spilled the whole story, including the noose.
How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see an opportunity to manipulate that symbol to further his own public profile?
Those scratches, said police, were likely self-inflicted.
This stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary.
He reportedly makes more than $100,000 for each of 18 episodes for the show Empire, or almost $2 million a year, and he recently got a raise. And as for those ringing words of support for Smollett from entertainment and political luminaries right after the incident, they're few and far between now, as Smollett posted his bond, surrendered his passport, and walked the humiliating walk out of the Cook County Jail. His legal team said it intended to mount an aggressive defense. But Smollett's employers at Fox sounded less committed to his future. We are evaluating the situation, they said, and considering our options. Dean Reynolds, CBS News, Chicago.
Smollett entered a plea of not guilty in court. He is due back in court on March the 14th. All right, many are concerned about the publicity of this case and the impact of reporting hate crimes in America. So joining us this morning to talk about this situation, Dr. Kimberly Barrett, Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion for Lawrence University, and Green Bay Police Commander Kevin Warych. Thank you both of you. Repeat persons coming back on our program this morning, and I much appreciate it. Let me start first with you, Doctor. How has the student population at Lawrence reacted to this Smollett case?
Well, I think that our students are probably like the, population in general, and I think that it seems unfortunate that we have so much attention placed on one incident that might be false when there are so many actual hate crimes out there that need to be investigated, solved, and the victim supported. You might be aware that over the past 4 years, the FBI crime statistics indicate that we've had increasing numbers of hate crimes nationally. And if you look at reports that specify how victims perceive what has happened, it could be as high as 250,000 reports, so incidents of hate crimes. So I think really this focus on a popular star rather than focusing on this problem we have in our society is unfortunate.
And there are concerns that this Smollett case may prevent other people with legitimate cases from coming forward.
That's right. I think one of the real tragedies about hate crimes is that they are underreported, and victims advocates estimate that about 50% go unreported in the first place. And then when you look at the crime statistics, actually only 10% of the more than, 16,000 police agencies actually report hate crimes. And so we really have underreporting from a number of avenues.
So, Commander Warych, what do we do about this underreporting? How do we make people comfortable enough to come forward to you folks?
I think it really just starts with the community and the police department. I think that as a police department, we have to be engaged in the community, and I would encourage and hope all police departments to do exactly what the Green Bay Police Department does by really making the connections in the community, learning what the people's concerns are, so when problems do occur and then there are victims, that they feel comfortable reporting so that we don't have this problem of underreporting. And it's very important that victims know that if there are future victims, if there are people out there right now, that they can come forward. We are there to help, and we have a variety of services in the community, not just the police department, but all the human service organizations willing to help victims to make sure that they are taken care of, that they're not re-victimized internally and in the community. So we want people to feel comfortable in our community.
You saw the Chicago police commissioner there talking about, he was almost angry at this. How much of a problem does it present to your force when a false report is filed? What do you have to go through?
Well, I share his anger.
Yeah.
I share his emotions, and I think all police officers do. And sadly, every officer, every investigator that's worked a violent crime, a major crime, and when they are lied to, it hampers the whole investigation. It takes more time. The victim wants some resolution. The victim wants these people brought to justice. And when people lie and they hamper investigations and they make up investigations, it wastes countless hours of people's times and officers' times, where where that time could be better spent investigating the actual crime itself. But when people lie, we have to re-interview and corroborate and come back and come to the real story, just like which I can assume that Chicago PD did in this incident.
Mm-hmm. We are back with more with Dr. Barrett and also with Commander Kevin Warych right after this, so please stay with us.